The Hughes 06 Cayuse, nicknamed Loach, after the requirement acronym Low Light Observation Helicopter, is a single-engine light helicopter with a four-bladed main rotor used for personnel transport, escort and attack missions, and observation. Hughes helicopters also developed the Model 369 as a civilian helicopter, and the Hughes Model 500, currently produced by MD Helicopters as the MD 500. Development. In 1960, the United States Army issued Technical Specification 153 for a light observation helicopter, LO, capable of fulfilling various roles: personnel transport, escort and attack missions, casualty evacuation and observation. 12 companies took part in the competition, and Hughes Tool Company's aircraft division submitted the Model 369. Two designs, those submitted by Fairchild Hiller and Bell, were selected as finalists by the Army-Navy Design Competition Board, but the U.S. Army later included the helicopter from Hughes as well. The first Model 369 prototype flew on February 27, 1963. Originally designated as the YH-06A according to the Army's designation system, the aircraft was redesignated as the YO-6A in 1962 when the Department of Defense created a joint designation system for all aircraft. 5 prototypes were built, fitted with a 252 shop, 188 kilowatts, Allison T-63A5A, and delivered to the U.S. Army at Fort Rucker, Alabama to compete against the other 10 prototype aircraft submitted by Bell and Fairchild Hiller. During the course of the competition, the Bell submission, the YO-4, was eliminated as being underpowered. It used the 250 shop, 186 kilowatts, T-63A5. The bidding for the low contract came down to Fairchild Hiller and Hughes. Hughes won the competition, and the Army awarded a contract for production in May 1965, with an initial order for 714 that was later increased to 1,300 with an option on another 114. Hughes's price was $19,860 per airframe, less engine, while Hiller's price was $29,415 per airframe, less engine. The Hiller design, designated O5A, had a boosted control system, while the Hughes design did not. This would account for some of the price difference. Hughes is reported to have told Jack Reel that he lost over $100 million in building 1,370 airframes. It was reported that Howard Hughes had directed his company to submit a bid at a price below the actual production cost of the helicopter in order to secure this order, resulting in substantial losses on the U.S. Army deal, with the anticipation that an extended production cycle would eventually prove financially viable. In 1968, Hughes submitted a bid to build a further 2,700 airframes. Stanley Hiller complained to the U.S. Army that Hughes had used unethical procedures. Therefore, the Army opened the contract for rebidding by all parties. Hiller did not participate in the rebidding, but Bell did, with their redesigned Model 206. After a competitive fly-off, the Army asked for sealed bids. Hughes bid $56,550 per airframe, while Bell bid $54,200. Reportedly, Hughes had consulted at the last moment with his confidant Jack Reel, who recommended a bid of $53,550. Hughes, without telling him, added $3,000 to the bid and thus lost the contract. Japanese 06. In Japan, 387 06/Hughes 369s were produced under license by Kawasaki Heavy Industries and used by the Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force, JGSDF, Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, JMSDF, the Japanese Coast Guard, and civilian operators. Beginning in 2001, the JGSDF 06s were being replaced by the Kawasaki 01 observation helicopter. Operational history. Entry into service. In 1964, the U.S. Department of Defense issued a memorandum directing that all U.S. Army fixed-wing aircraft be transferred to the U.S. Air Force, while the U.S. Army made the transition to rotor-wing aircraft. The U.S. Army's fixed-wing airplane, the O-1 Bird Dog, which was utilized for artillery observation and reconnaissance, would be replaced by the O-6A helicopter. The aircraft entered service in 1966, arriving in the Vietnam War thereafter. The pilots dubbed the new helicopter Loach, a word created by pronunciation of the acronym of the program that spawned the aircraft, LO, Light Observation Helicopter. World records. Shortly after production began, the O-6 began to demonstrate what kind of an impact it would have on the world of helicopters. The O-6 set 23 world records for helicopters in 1966 for speed, endurance, and time to climb. On March 26, 1966, Jack Schwiebold set the closed-circuit distance record in a Yo-6A at Edwards Air Force Base, California. He flew without landing for 1,739.96 miles, 2,800.20 kilometers. Subsequently, on April 6, 1966, Robert Ferry set the long-distance world record for helicopters. He flew from Culver City, California, with over a ton of fuel to Ormond Beach, Florida, covering a total of 1,923.08 nm, 2,213.04 miles, 3,561.55 kilometers, in 15 hours, and near the finish at up to 24,000 feet altitude. As of 2013, these records still stand. Vietnam War. A heavily modified pair of O-6s were utilized by the CIA via Air America for a covert wiretapping mission in 1972. The aircraft, dubbed 500P, Penetrator, by Hughes, began as an ARPA project, codenamed Main Street, in 1968. Development included test and training flights in Culver City, California, Hughes Airport, and at Area 51 in 1971. In order to reduce their acoustic signature, the helicopters, N351X and N352X, received a four-blade scissors-style tail rotor, later incorporated into the Hughes-designed AW-64 Apache, a fifth rotor blade and reshaped rotor tips, a modified exhaust system and various performance boosts. Deployed to a secret base in southern Laos, PS-44, in June 1972, one of the helicopters was heavily damaged during a training mission late in the summer. The remaining helicopter deployed a wiretap near Vinh, Vietnam on the night of 5-6 December 1972, which provided the United States with useful information during the Linebacker II campaign and Paris peace talks. Shortly thereafter, the aircraft were returned to the U.S., dismantled and quietly found new homes as the now standard 500s. 842 out of the 1,419 O-6s built for the U.S. Army were destroyed in Vietnam, mostly from hostile ground fire. 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. Following the April 1980 failure of Operation Eagle Claw, the attempted rescue of American hostages in Tehran, it was determined that the military lacked aircraft and crews who were trained and prepared to perform special operations missions. To remedy this shortcoming, the Army began developing a special aviation task force to prepare for the next attempt to rescue the hostages, Operation Honey Badger. Task Force 160. The architects of the task force identified the need for a small helicopter to land in the most restrictive locations and that was also easily transported on Air Force transport aircraft. They chose the O-6A Scout helicopter to fill that role, and it became known as the Little Bird compared to the other aircraft in the task force, the MH-60 and the MH-47. As a separate part of the project, armed O-6s were being developed at Fort Rucker, Alabama. The pilots selected to fly the O-6A helicopters came from the 229th Attack Helicopter Battalion and were sent to the Mississippi Army National Guard's Army Aviation Support Facility, AASF, at Gulfport, Mississippi, for 2 weeks of qualification training in the aircraft. When the training was completed, C-141 aircraft transported the aircraft and crews to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, for 2 weeks of mission training. The mission training consisted of loading onto C-130 transport aircraft which would then transport them to forward staging areas over routes as long as 1,000 nautical miles, 1,900 kilometers. The armed O-6 aircraft from Fort Rucker joined the training program in the fall of 1980. Operation Honey Badger was cancelled after the hostages were released on January 20, 1981, and for a short while, it looked as if the task force would be disbanded and the personnel returned to their former units. But the Army decided that it would be more prudent to keep the unit in order to be prepared for future contingencies. The task force, which had been designated as Task Force 158, was soon formed into the 160th Aviation Battalion. The O-6A helicopters used for transporting personnel became the MH-6 aircraft of the Light Assault Company, and the armed O-6s became the A-6 aircraft of the Light Attack Company. On October 1, 1986, to help meet the increasing demands for support, the 1-245th Aviation Battalion from the Oklahoma National Guard, which had 25 A-6 and 23 A-1 helicopters, was placed under the operational control of the 160th. The 1-245th AVNBN enlisted were sent to the Mississippi Army National Guard's Army Aviation Support Facility, AASF, at Gulfport, Mississippi, for 2 weeks of qualification training in the aircraft. The following 2-week mission was to Yuma for night operation training. The A/MH Little Birds were lifted by 1C-5, 2 C-130 along with all support kits for the battalion. Crews trained side by side with the 160th for all operational concepts. The 1-245 modified infantry night vision goggles and worked to develop the necessary skills for rapid deployment with Little Birds and C-130s. Variants: O-6A. Prototype version. O-6A. Light observation helicopter, powered by a 263 kilowatts, 317 shop, Allison T63A5A turboshaft engine. O-6A Notor. Experimental version. O-6B. Re-engined version, powered by a 298 kilowatts, 420 shop, Allison T63A720 turboshaft engine. O-6C. Proposed version, powered by a 313.32 kilowatts, 400 shop, Allison 25C20 turboshaft engine, fitted with 5 rotor blades. O-6J. Light observation helicopter based on the O-6A Cayuse for the JGSDF. Built by Kawasaki Heavy Industries under license in Japan. O-6D. Light observation, scout helicopter based on the Hughes Model 500D for the JGSDF. Built by Kawasaki Heavy Industries under license in Japan. O-6D. Instead of discontinued O-6D, JMSDF bought some MD-500ES, named O-6D, for training. S-6B. Special Operations Electronic Warfare, Command Post version. MH-6B. Special Operations version. TH-6B. A Navy derivative of the MD-369H. 6 McDonnell Douglas TH-6B conversion in lieu of procurement aircraft are used as an integral part of the United States Naval Test Pilot School's test pilot training syllabus. The aircraft and associated instrumentation and avionics are used for the in-flight instruction and demonstration of flying qualities, performance, and mission systems flight test techniques. A-6C. Modified O-6A to carry weapons and operate as a light attack aircraft for the 160th SOAR, A. MH-6C. Special Operations version. For other A-6 and MH-6 variants, see MH-6 Little Bird and Boeing A-6. Operators. Military and government operators. Spain. Spanish Navy. Japan. Japan Ground Self-Defense Force. United States. Atlanta Police Department. Chilton County Sheriff's Department. Gainesville Police Department. United States Army, CA/MH6. Former operators. Dominican Republic. Dominican Air Force. Denmark. Royal Danish Army. Japan. Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force. Nicaragua. Nicaraguan Air Force. Republic of China, Taiwan. Republic of China Army. United States. United States Army, O6A/C. U.S. Border Patrol. United States Navy. Specifications, A6C. General characteristics. Crew, 2. Length, 30 feet 10 in 32 feet 2 in, 9.49.8 m. Rotor diameter, 27 feet 4 in, 8.33 m. Height, 8 feet 6 in 11 feet 2 in, 2.63.4 m. Empty weight, 1,975 pounds, 896 kilograms. Max takeoff weight, 3,549 pounds, 1,610 kilograms. Power plant, 1x1 Allison T63A5A or T63A700 turboshaft, 317 HP, 236 kilowatts. Performance. Maximum speed, 152 knots, 175 miles per hour, 282 kilometers per hour. Cruise speed, 135 knots, 155 miles per hour, 250 kilometers per hour. Range, 232 nm, 430 kilometers, 267 miles. Service ceiling, 15,994 feet, 4,875 m. Rate of climb, 2,067 feet/min, 10.5 m/s. Armament. Guns, 2 M60 or M134 minigun 7.62 mm machine guns, 2.50 calories, 12.7 mm, MG pods. Rockets, 14 2.75 in, 70 mm, Hydra 70 rockets in 2 pods. Missiles, 4 TOW missiles in 2 pods, 4 Hellfire missiles in 2 pods. Roll light observation helicopter/utility. National origin United States. Manufacturer Hughes Helicopters. McDonnell Douglas Helicopter Systems. MD Helicopters. First flight February 27, 1963. Introduction 1966. Status in service. Primary user United States Army. Produced 1965 present. Number built 1420, 06A. Unit cost. $19,860, 1966. Variants MD Helicopters MH6 Little Bird. MD Helicopters MD 500. McDonnell Douglas MD 500 Defender.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.